Calaroga Shark Media.
Hello and welcome to Palace Intrigue. I am your host, Mark Francis. King Charles and Queen Camilla arrived in Australia on Friday evening for their 6-day royal tour, undeterred by torrential downpours. The king led the way down the plains steps in rainy conditions, holding an umbrella and checking to make sure Camilla was safe as she followed behind. They were greeted at the airport by Governor-General Sam Mostyn and her husband, Simeon Beckett, as well as other key officials, including Prime Minister Anthony Albanese and his fiancée, Jodie Hayden. Just before their arrival, heavy rain had drenched the runway, but it cleared in time for the couple's landing at 8:30 p.m. local time. Camilla wore a striking royal blue dress by Fiona Clare, paired with the Australian wattle brooch, a sentimental piece gifted to the late Queen Elizabeth by the people of Australia. During their visit, Camilla made a young boy's dream come true. 12-year-old Kai, who suffers from severe aplastic anemia, presented a posy to the Queen, fulfilling his wish granted by the Make-A-Wish Foundation. After their arrival, the royal couple travelled to Admiralty House for tea with the Prime Minister and his partner. However, the lighting of the Sydney Opera House, planned to mark their visit, was delayed due to heavy rain and a cruise ship, ironically named the Queen Elizabeth, blocking the projector. Despite the delay, the event went ahead, with New South Wales Premier Chris Minns stating it was important to ensure the King was warmly welcomed. Ahead of their historic visit to Australia, King Charles and Queen Camilla shared a heartfelt message on social media, expressing their excitement about the trip. The post read, "Ahead of our first visit to Australia as King and Queen, we are really looking forward to returning to this beautiful country to celebrate the extraordinarily rich cultures and communities that make it so special. See you there." The message was signed Charles R. and Camilla R. and included a nostalgic 3-minute video featuring a younger Charles, along with clips of the late Queen Elizabeth II and Prince Philip. One fan described the video as nostalgic, while others expressed their enthusiasm for the royal visit, with one commenting, "Lovely video. I'm sure you will get a warm welcome from the wonderful Australian people." Royal expert Hugo Vickers has claimed that King Charles is unlikely to be concerned with Prince Harry's reported purchase of a new home in Portugal. According to reports, Harry and Meghan have bought the property just over a year after being evicted from Frogmore Cottage in Windsor. Vickers told The Sun, "The King's got a lot of things to get on with. Apart from getting well, he's got his big tour in Australia." He added, "Harry just needs to sort himself out," suggesting the King has left the door open for Harry to return to the royal fold if he chooses. The purchase has sparked speculation, with some suggesting it could signal a gradual return for the couple to Europe. Others believe Harry's decision to buy in Portugal is tied to his close relationship with cousin Princess Eugenie, who also owns a home there. Vickers hinted that Harry may also be seeking an alternative residence in case Donald Trump, whom Meghan has criticized in the past, wins the next US presidential election. On Princess Diana's first foreign tour to Australia and New Zealand in 1983, she was just 21 and travelling with a 10-month-old Prince William. At the time, the couple faced significant anti-royal sentiment, including from then Australia Prime Minister Bob Hawke, who famously did not bow to the couple when they arrived. Historian Robert Lacey recounted in his book Battle of Brothers that Hawke initially dismissed the royal visit as unimportant, but later praised Diana, whose charm won over the Australian public. Diana's popularity during the tour was undeniable, with large crowds gathering to see her at every stop. One photographer described how the streets of Sydney were filled with people eager to catch a glimpse of the princess. However, not everyone was charmed by the royals. One protester even mooned Charles and Diana in New Zealand, an act described in a confidential report by then New Zealand High Commissioner Sir Richard Stratton. Despite the challenges, the tour brought Diana and Charles closer, with the couple frequently seen holding hands. Prince William, meanwhile, stayed with his nanny at a sheep station in New South Wales, where he crawled for the first time during the tour, a special moment both parents were able to witness. More Palace in just a moment. Mike Tindall, who celebrated his 46th birthday yesterday, has become a trusted member of the royal family's inner circle, but his early antics raised a few eyebrows. One memorable moment was his wild stag do in Florida in 2011, just weeks before marrying Zara Phillips. The former England rugby player made headlines for racking up a staggering $20,000 bar tab during a night out at Miami's Live nightclub. Reflecting on the event, Mike said, "I got ripped. They got stuck into me after I got back from my stag do when it was the Duke's 90th because it was in the papers." Tindall's extravagant night included champagne, vodka, tequila, and bottles of high-end liquor, all delivered by scantily clad waitresses. Onlookers described the group's night as wild, with the boys dancing on tables and receiving attention from attractive women throughout the evening. The festivities continued over the weekend with an 8-hour poolside drinking session and a lively, competitive drinking game that even included his brother-in-law, Peter Phillips. Despite the boisterous weekend, Mike returned to London with a smile and went on to marry Zara in a more low-key private ceremony than William and Kate's lavish wedding earlier that year. In a recent interview promoting his upcoming book, The Good, the Bad, and the Rugby, Unleashed, Tindall reflected on his royal marriage, saying, "Believe it or not, marrying into the royal family was pretty easy for me. They were always nice to me, and I was always nice to them. Simple, really." Meghan, are you listening? Mike Tindall has become a down-to-earth and light-hearted member of the royal family, building a close relationship with Prince William. Since Prince Harry and Meghan moved to the US, Tindall and William's bond has grown stronger, often displayed through their in-jokes and Tindall's presence at key royal events. Earlier this year, Mike and his wife Sarah joined William at the King's garden party at Buckingham Palace, charming guests and keeping the atmosphere light. Known for his humour, Tindall even joked with guests about never being arrested, despite having received a driving ban for drink driving in 2008 after a day at Cheltenham. His easygoing nature has made him a hit with the future king, who appreciates Tindall's ability to cut through the royal stuffiness. One of Tindall's cheeky moments includes revealing his nickname for William, Pint Willy, on his podcast The Good, the Bad, and the Rugby, because he's not the best of drinkers. William took it in stride, later joking, "Mike, when you say you're not going to mention anyone's nicknames, that doesn't mean you can then mention mine. That's not fair." Although it's only October, Queen Mary of Denmark is already embracing the holiday spirit by unveiling the 2024 Christmas stamp at Copenhagen City Hall. This cherished tradition, now in its 117th year, features a fresh design each season, and this year's stamp honors Denmark's new king and queen. The stamp blends the nation's history with a modern touch, including Viking ships, the Danish constitution, and runes from the Jelling stones. Notably, it also highlights Denmark in 2024, featuring astronaut Andreas Mogensen and references to the country's climate. A drawing of the royal family running symbolizes King Frederick's annual run, tying the royals into this festive tribute. The Christmas stamp tradition begins with Ina Holbel, who aimed to raise funds for sick children, with proceeds now supporting Jule Markenfonden, a charity that helps children and teens struggling with mental health and bullying. The Danish royal family has long supported this initiative, with Queen Margrethe even designing the stamp on 3 occasions during her reign. I look forward to your pronunciation emails. Meanwhile, King Harald V and Queen Sonja of Norway are making plans for where they'll eventually rest together. The royal couple is working on the design of their joint tomb, though the project is still in the early stages. This significant detail was revealed through Norway's government budget proposal, which set aside 20 million Norwegian kroner, roughly $1.86 million for the royal tombs. The final resting place will be at Akershus Fortress, where King Harald's parents, King Olav V and Crown Princess Martha, as well as his grandparents, King Haakon VII and Queen Maud, are also buried. The joint tomb will continue a tradition of royal couples being laid to rest together, although the specific design of the sarcophagus is yet to be finalized. King Harald, now 87, is nearing the 34th anniversary of his reign, and these preparations reflect the inevitability of royal duties, extending even to planning for eternity. And there you have it. If you'd like to email us, our address is thepalaceintrigue@gmail.com. Please follow us on Spotify, Apple, or the app of your choice, and leave us a review or some stars if you're enjoying the show. I'm Mark Francis. My thanks to John McDermott. This is Palace Intrigue, and good times.